It comes down to responsible leaders, responsible government. And when I talk about responsibility, I mean sacrifice. There is no responsibility without sacrifice. And what sacrifice are we getting from our leaders? If leaders are not willing to sacrifice, then there will not be great people and there will not be great nation. When we look at our situation in the country, killings, insecurity, kidnapping, poverty, unemployment, all these issues, it's just because investing in politics is more lucrative than investing in business. People that have money, they would rather invest their money in politics than to invest their money in business. When people have 1 billion naira, 300 million naira, the next thing they will be thinking, I want to contest. I want to be senator. I want to be rep. I want to be president. People, if they have money, they don't think of business ideas because we have a lot of money when you get into power. And that is why there is no responsibility, and that's why there is no sacrifice in leadership, because there is too much money attached to that. And they get confused. Are we here to get money or to serve people? That is when people that are not qualified to be anything in this life, they will spend the money they have to preclude others, competent candidates, even contest. How many competent people you knew or you know that are aspiring to contest an election but they could not win because they don't have the money? And there are other people that are not competent as such because they have the money, they win. So this is the situation, and if you cannot have these credible people, imagine in the electoral process, political system, then we can have the good leaders. And if you cannot have the good leaders, then we cannot have the great people. So to me, it comes down to sacrifice I'm talking about. The sacrifice, we have to see it from the government, especially when we are talking about this kind of democracy practice in Nigeria. The cost of governance is very, very expensive. We are doing one of the most expensive governance in the world in Nigeria. Because if the government will reduce the wastages and the excesses, we will be saving more than 1 trillion naira every year. Just imagine, from trips, travels by the chief executives, the governors, the senators, the officials, the excesses, the wastages, the allowances, foreign trips. You see how much money is being wasted. If the government will sacrifice from their allowances, from their salaries, from their trips, excessive extravagancy, we will be saving more than 1 trillion naira every year. With that money, we can do infrastructure, we can build factories, we can give young people grants, start businesses, and people become independent financially. And that's how we produce great people. This is the process, from great leadership now to great people. Because great leadership set the frame, set the tune, and create the environment for people to thrive and become great people. So to me, I think the sacrifice is the most important aspect of the leadership that we are talking about. The sacrifice is actually the patriotism, because there is no patriotism without sacrifice. Then ask yourself, at what cost will you like to serve this country? At what cost will you like to protect and improve and develop this country? What are you willing to sacrifice for Nigeria? There is a price beyond which you cannot pay for this country. And what is the maximum cost? What's the maximum price you can pay for this country? Ask yourself. If you cannot pay a steep price for this country, you cannot call yourself patriotic. You can imagine the patriotism, but it comes from the patriotism from the leaders. If we don't trust our leaders, why should we trust this country? Because the trust of the leadership comes first. They have to do their part. You cannot be taxing the populace, the people, the poor people, while you are not taxing yourself. Let the sacrifice come from you. Let us see what you are doing to help the people. So